Hello, my name is Benjamin Timothy Goby, and for my project, the BTG Interviews, today I'm interviewing
Willie Coppen. I was an Ewok in Return of the Jedi, a villager in Willow, and I did a Ken Russell film called Salamis The Last Dance, which was a bit strange.
At what age did you start acting?
When I left school, I went straight to a motor spares shop in Derby, and when I was about 19, one of the customers phoned me and said, "Willie, they're looking for people like you for the next Star Wars film. We've just heard an appeal on the local commercial radio station." And in those days, the dad's taxi service wasn't the great big service it is nowadays, where the kids can say, "Dad." So I phoned my dad up and said, "Dad, can you take me to Nottingham?" Nottingham from Derby is about 14 miles. And so he'd been at work all day, and suddenly his son says, "Take me to Nottingham tonight, Dad," which in those days was a big thing to. So I said, "Why, what for?" I said, "I might be in the next Star Wars film." So I went over to see, arranged to go over to see the agent that had made the appeal on Radio Trent. Spoke to him, and he'd had people phoning him up saying, "Oh, I'm really small, I'm 5'2". Well, I'm 4'4". So he saw me, said yes, confirmed my body shape was right for the part. So he arranged for me to go down to Elstree Studios a few days later. And I thought, if I'm on the train on my own going down there, I'm going to be thinking, I'm in the money. And I'll get there, and for whatever reason they'll say, "Sorry mate, you can't do it."
Yeah.
So Dad worked for the railway, so he got free rail passes. So I wasn't normally somebody who wanted Daddy to come along.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So Dad got on the train with me, went down to the studios, and asked for the person I was told to ask for, and they came down to the reception, whisked me up to a wardrobe and started measuring me up, and I turned around and said, "Have I actually got a part in this?" And they said, "Yeah, of course you have." As if it was a foregone conclusion, and I was expected to have to do something.
Yeah.
So,
What has been some of the best and most challenging moments in your career?
There's lots of best moments for different reasons, like on Never Ending Story. It was the first time I'd ever flown, first time I'd been abroad, because we did that in Munich. So that was really good, being abroad for the first time, and all the experiences that Munich isn't on a lot of people's tourist hotspot place. It's a nice big city in Germany, and there's lots of nice places to go to, but it's not a touristy place, so that was nice to go to see. And then there's Willow, which I met my previous partner on, and I've now got a daughter from that and 2 granddaughters, so that was longevity, that was nice. I did an advert for 7-Up, which was shown in the States, and in those days you got repeat fees, and it was shown in the States for the first Christmas and got the repeat fees, which was nice. Following Christmas, kind of hoped it would be repeated, but I did Panto down in Eastbourne and finished the Panto. Whilst I was down in Eastbourne, I'd seen this in this gallery, this lovely picture. I thought, I can't really justify spending 130 quid. Got home, there was a cheque for 1,400 quid waiting for me.
Yeah.
So I thought, I could have got it. But there's lots of different things that are good. Some things you think, like there was one show I did for, the kind of comedian's name's gone out of my head. He died a few years later. But what I actually did was wasn't very nice and very cheap.
Yeah.
Because I was dressed up as a Red Indian, and I just had to run across the set behind him, and that was meant to be funny. It's a bit, there's a dwarf dressed up as a Red Indian. Haha.
That don't sound funny, does it?
No.
No.
But then, during the afternoon, I was sitting there, I'd rehearsed my bit, and then watched Shirley Bassey rehearse her bit. So I was getting paid to sit there and listen to watch Shirley Bassey, who was sitting just meters away from me. So I thought, I'll let you off for doing what I've just had to do, but this is good.
Yeah, made up for it.
Yes.
Which actors, actresses and other celebrities have you enjoyed working with before?
Oh, there's lots. Marty Kane was lovely. She was a lovely lady. Louise English was another lovely lady from the pantomimes. Mark Hamill from Return of the Jedi, he was brilliant. He'd walk past the room and see if we were in there. He'd come in and chat to us. There was one day I was on the set behind the camera. We were having a good old chat. He was telling me about on Empire. His wife was over here with him. She was expecting the baby and had the baby over here.
Wow.
So we had a nice, good chat. So,
Yeah. Bit of bonding.
but yeah, little and large. For those from who can remember the 70s and 80s, they were a comedy act. They were lovely.
Yeah.
Kenny Everett, I did 2 days with him, and he said hello. And that was it.
Hello.
Yeah, and that's the only time he spoke to us. There's me and 2 other dwarfs, and the only time he spoke to us was when he said hello one of the days. So, yeah, there are some people who are very nice and friendly.
And I was
Yeah.
yeah.
Whether he was busy doing his stuff and his mind was too full of that, I didn't have a chance to get into that, but yeah.
And how do you feel your career in acting has progressed over the years, and which areas of acting do you feel you need to improve in?
Well, I've taken a bit of a break because of marriage and kids. So for the last 25 years I've been doing office work, but I'm now coming back into it. I did some parts of the run in the Stevenage pantomime at Christmas. I've just done a horror film down in Exeter for Stephen Smith for Greenway Productions. That's called Scare Attraction. There's a low budget movie. I have done another job, but the contract says do not talk about it. And I can't actually say. Basically, the bit I can say is I was sat in this booth in front of 72 cameras.
Yeah.
Which took about 60 odd different pictures each. Me putting various faces, and they're going to use it for CGI or something. But I don't even know what the project is.
Ah, okay.
So they're so secretive about it. I don't know what genre it is, whether it's film, TV, or video game, or whatever. So when they can tell me, they will. But
be interesting to see when it's done.
Yes, yeah. But apparently I will be able to tell it's me, and they'll be with all the electronics, they'll be moving the face and all contorting it in those.
Yeah. And finally, what advice would you have for me who wants to go into directing and acting?
Find a nice script that can get me to do.
Yeah.
You find something that you can do as a stopgap between. Because when I was about your age, I moved down to London. I did Return of the Jedi, then the following year I did Never Ending Story. Then I did my first panto in Stirling when I was 21. Then I think it's just after that I moved down to London from Derby, and I was doing temp jobs in between. I mean, I was lucky enough, and at the time you didn't need much security to. I saw this advert in the Stage newspaper for people to do manual work, so I replied to it. It was an agency just off Regent Street, so I went down to see them, and everybody else was coming in who had been working that week, and they were all saying, "Oh, we've been working at the Palace of Westminster." And I went, "What?" And the following Monday I was cleaning tables in the Palace of Westminster.
Wow.
I mean, you have to go for an X-ray to get in, and but nowadays they have to do full background checks, even to do clearing tables and that. But that was good because no matter what your politics are, outside before I went in there, if you said, "Oh, what do you think of so-and-so politician who back in the 80s?" I would have said, "That person's low," or "I like that person."
Yeah.
But went in and there was one person who I didn't like politically. He was a lovely person. There's a gentleman, every time he saw me, he made a point of saying hello,
Yeah.
how are you? But then there's another person who I like politically. Ignorant so. It was most of the people realised I couldn't reach stuff. So I went to clear his table. He was chatting to somebody. Most of the other MPs, oh, Willie's here. I mean, find something, especially in the early days, that you can fall back onto, whether you go and work in the local supermarket or whatever, because there will be times when you need to.
And one thing I did a couple of months ago is in October last year, I asked for an interview from Colin Baker. He said no. And then in March this year, I did an interview with Michael Jason, who he's very good friends with. And I mentioned it to Michael because he asked me, he goes, oh, we're going to interview Colin. I said, no. Colin said no. So he said, right, come with me. I was like, okay, cool. And he goes, oh, yeah, Colin, you miserable git, give this kid an interview. It's literally, that's how he said it. And then we went upstairs and me and Colin were like, yeah, having a great time. Went on for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And we had the brilliant interview. Yeah, that was unexpected.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes things do come out when you're not expecting them, and there'll be times when you think, I hope this leads to something else, and it doesn't. Or there'll be times when somebody mentions something, and you think, when you're on a set or something, somebody mentions something else, and yeah, I can go for that. Or I'm doing something, can you come and help me, and things like that. So be nice to everyone.
Definitely.
Because you don't want to get a name, and you never know when you need somebody to do you a favour for your project, or then you could do them a favour in return.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much.